Hi guys, welcome to a new episode. Today I'm going to present you a knife made by a French knife maker. His name is Alain Grangette. He is not very famous abroad, but he makes very interesting knives and you can immediately recognize his style. He often makes these very particular mechanisms that he develops by himself, often inspired from horology or rifles. So he makes these what I call art knives that are really demonstration pieces, and he also has a company that is called Loup Creuse that makes more, let's say, everyday knives, but they still have a very interesting mechanism involved in them. So yeah, maybe we can talk about this company in another video. Today, let's take a closer look to this particular knife. As usual, let's quickly go through the specs. The overall length is 21 centimeters. The handle is 12.5 centimeters from that piece there to the butt, and blade length is 8.5 centimeters, so from the tip to the ricasso actually. Talking about the materials, you can already see it is a beautiful Bertie Rietveld Nebula Damascus. We've got a titanium handle that has been very nicely anodized, stone inlays, and all the screws and the backspacer have been gold plated by him. So I must admit, first time I saw this knife, it was a really bad picture. I was quite afraid and I thought it was really looking not very good, to be polite. But yeah, because it's quite blingy in a way. You have a lot of things that adds together, a lot of different things, a lot of different colors, different materials. It's almost a little bit over the top. In the end, I think he did a really, really marvelous job. All the different pieces make a really beautiful knife and has, yeah, it's quite harmonious. It's it could have looked like a mess, but I think it's quite harmonious. Let's take a closer look to the mechanism, which I think is the main feature of this knife and actually of Alain Grangette's knives in general. So you have a kind of button there with nice jimping that you press. It releases this piece and releases the blade. I'll try and show you again. So either you can use your thumb to close it with one hand, or you can use your index and close it with two hands. I'll try and show you again. Very, very cool to see these moving parts. Really makes me think of a watch. It flips extremely well. It's almost impossible to miss a flip. And it brings a totally different sensation to every other flipping knife I have seen so far. Also a very different noise, as you can probably tell. The detent is really, really, really strong, but you don't feel it when you flip the knife because you have a nice jimping on the flipper tab that, by the way, is skeletonized and adds to the complication of the movement. But yeah, As it's a very particular mechanism, it probably doesn't glide as it would with a frame lock or liner lock that is on ball bearings. So that's probably why you've got this very strong detent that, again, you don't really feel when you flip the knife like that, but you definitely feel it when you want to open the knife with two hands. So yeah, let's have a closer look to the handle. Titanium frames that have been really nicely anodized. I think it's the first time I see this kind of anodizing. Hope the camera will be able to catch it, but it's gray, but has some blue reflections in it. And at the same time, you have a kind of two-tone finish, like if it was stone washed or something else. You have this kind of grain pattern in it, which, yeah, again, I think is really interesting. Again, never seen that before on a knife. Beautiful red Jasper inlays. Finishing is really well made. Sorry, you don't feel anything, and that's, in my opinion, quite a performance, as titanium and stone are really two difficult materials to work with. So yeah, inlays on both sides, and then you get all these custom screws that he makes on his own, that have been all gold plated. Now obviously this is a piece to hide the mechanism. Don't know exactly what's behind, but yeah. I must admit it's a little bit too busy in screws on that part. On this one I like it with the mechanism. On that part there are quite a few screws, but just a matter of taste, and it actually adds to the performance because, yeah, again, every screw has been made on its own, one by one, so a lot of hours of work behind that. Gold plating on the bike spacer too. You can see there's a little screw there also for the mechanism. And this absolutely beautiful Damascus that also brings some different colors. It looks black when you first see the blade, but it has some greenish reflections on some parts of the blade and some more pink-ish reflections on other parts. Very interesting how all the parts of the knife have these variations in the colors. You have the titanium that is gray but with blue reflections, these shades of red in the Jasper, all these different colors in the blade, and even in the steel with the pearl ash finish that you usually find on the watch movements, brings different shades of color and reflection. So again, yeah, it could have been a big mess, but in the end, very well done, in my opinion. Very harmonious result, which honestly is a great surprise. Almost forgot to mention that there is a pearl ash finish in the inside of the frames. Yeah, really beautiful. Nice wedge on the blade, and there Alain Granget's logo, very discreet, made with engraved with a pantograph, I guess. Really like it. So yeah, that's it, guys, for this very unusual knife. Very unique. very different than every other flipping knife I have actually seen so far. And as usual, hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you did. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.